The federal budget will be tabled later this month, and a deal with the NDP hangs in the balance. Leader Jagmeet Singh says what comes out of the new spending could determine whether or not the party continues to support the Liberals through its confidence and supply agreement. Mr. Singh joins us now here this morning. Thank you for being here.
Pleasure to be here.
Let's talk about this. As far as that confidence and supply agreement goes, what do you need to see from the Liberals in this upcoming budget in order for it to continue?
First thing is the expansion of the dental care program. We want to see dental care expanded for children 18 and under, for seniors and people living with disabilities in a national dental care program. So you would go into the dentist or the dental hygienist and your bill would be paid for with this national program. That's going to cover millions of people, make a difference in their lives, save a lot of money. We're predicting at least $1,200 of saving per family with this program. So save money and give people that much needed dental care access they need. That's one. That's absolutely written in our agreement that needs to happen by the end of this year. So we want to see that in the budget. We also want to see other measures that we fought for, like the GST rebate doubling, which means putting more money in people's pockets to help them with the cost of living, buying groceries, paying the bills. So that's something we'd like to see as well. There's a number of things we want to see in terms of how we can invest in giving people a little bit of support in this difficult time to give them some help in the cost of living crisis that they're dealing with.
Which many are dealing with. Now, I want to ask you, do Canadians dealing with those high inflation rates, dealing with high interest rates, cost of living is through the roof, concerned that some of the new spending could exacerbate some of those problems? I want to show you, I have a quick clip from Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland, what she had to say about that.
One of my principal responsibilities is not to pour fuel on the flames of inflation. I think we all want to get past this as quickly as we can.
So doesn't want to pour flames on inflation. So we just talked about dental care, the expansion, the GST, HST credit. I know school lunches you've talked about in the past as well. How do you do that, and what would you like to see? Where would you like to see some of that money directed if we're not going to make everything bigger picture worse?
Well, there's certain things that we can't afford to keep on doing. One of the things that we've been long calling for is ending the billions of dollars, multi-billion dollars that are going into fossil fuel subsidies. These are oil and gas companies that have made record profits, not just annual profits, but the highest profits they've ever made in many of these companies their entire existence. And they continue to receive billions of dollars from the federal government. That needs to end, but we do need to invest in people. And what we're proposing are targeted measures that will not contribute to inflation in any way. Economists have confirmed that. So the dental care program targets people that need help. It goes to families that are going to benefit from this, but it's also not going to pour flame on inflation in any way because it goes towards a health benefit that's also going to save money for people in the long run. The school program to provide school lunches for kids, that's another way of giving people help for the cost of food being so expensive, but it's not going to contribute to inflation. So these are important measures we believe in, and we know that people need this help, and it's not going to contribute to inflation. And there's things that we need to cut, like putting money into the pockets of billion-dollar companies like the oil and gas sector. We got to stop doing that.
Is there anything else other than the oil and gas sector? Because again, to keep things balanced, you've harped on that for a long time. Is there another thing or something else we can take money away from to redirect it in your plan?
Yeah, there's loopholes that exist right now that allow for many companies to have tax havens where they're stealing basically revenue from our federal government, from the government in general, that could go towards these programs. So let's close those loopholes that allow for billions of dollars to be ending up offshore instead of being invested back in our country.
I want to talk about David Johnston, like election interference. We've been talking a lot about this. The Liberals tapping the former Governor General as a special rapporteur who's going to conduct a review. You've been calling for a public inquiry.
That's right.
And it's not off the table, it doesn't sound like yet. But are you okay with this move? Give me your thoughts on David Johnston being appointed special rapporteur.
Yeah, we said that David Johnston is someone that's credible. He's shown in his career that he's a nonpartisan and someone that's trustworthy. We still believe, though, that to give Canadians the confidence that our electoral system is going to be safeguarded, we do need a public inquiry. So I urge the special rapporteur to consider the public inquiry as a way to address the concerns of Canadians. We are really worried about apathy, people feeling like their vote doesn't matter. And when they hear of foreign governments trying to influence our elections, that's going to drive up even more apathy, more feeling that what's the point of voting? And we need people to vote because we're seeing the impacts of government decisions. The fact that it's so hard to find housing that's affordable in a city like Toronto. We know that that's government decisions that result in these type of results. So we need to make sure that people feel they can vote and that their vote matters. So we can vote on things to invest in our healthcare, to support the cost of living, pressures that people are feeling by giving people real help.
Federal NDP leader Jagmeet Singh, thank you for being here this morning. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.